So we're going to go ahead and actually take a look at a series of videos, and it's going to be about the topic essentially of men disliking or even going as far as to say hates women. Because this is something that I've seen online on a daily basis where you have men who are married to their wives, or they're saying, my wife, she nags all the time. I mean, can you believe it? She wants me to clean up after myself. She wants me to go and take our kids to the doctor on my day off. She wants me to cook. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. And it's just like absurd to me. You also have a lot of podcasts where guys are saying, yeah, women are essentially disposable. If you have a woman who has a kid from a previous relationship, she's like, what do they call them, like a free for all, to be used and abused and all this kind of stuff. And oh, I can't stand women, they always want to have deep conversations. I mean, can you believe she actually wants me? She's already my girlfriend, she wants me to take her out on a date. She wants flowers? Really? Just because? No. Ill, ill, ugh, I don't want to catch that. So you see it constantly where these dudes are saying adamantly, I don't like women at all. So then my question then is thus, well, why don't you just get with your homeboys then? Because you have a lot of dudes who they hate being around women. Anytime they want to kick it and have fun is just with males. Women are only for sexual purposes, and that's it. That's how they think. So then when someone says, well, so you just want a woman for sex, but you want the dude for everything else. Yeah. Well, why don't you just get with the dude that you're hanging out with? I ain't gay though. So you don't enjoy being around women, but you like sex. Is it a hole in a mouth? Because he has a hole in a mouth. Why not just do that instead? I feel a lot of dudes are not living in their truth. Because you can't sit up here and say, oh, I love women. I mean, I like being with the woman, but you only really like the sex. We could get sex from, you know, you have transformers out there. You go and have sex with them, or just your homeboy too, or just any of them. I mean, I just don't get it. If you don't enjoy being around a woman, if you don't like the smell of a woman, if you don't like the fact that, you get a period every month, ew, that's gross. You've had that since you're a kid. I don't want to hear it. La 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 la. I don't want to hear it. You want to do your face? You want to do like a routine, a self-care routine? Ew. You go to therapy? You are in forums to better yourself? You read to better your that's gross. I don't want to catch that. I just want to hang out with my boys all the time and go on vacations and hang out with them, and then maybe call you if I'm not busy. That sounds like you're in a relationship, no shade, to your dude. Why not just be in a relationship with your dude then? And it's not to be mean. I mean, if that's what you want to do and that's who you are, that's who you are. I mean, who cares? No one cares. But at the end of the day, why string women along if you don't like them? You don't like women. Why string them along? You don't like anything about a woman. You could go and say, oh, well, she has a crop top on. Oh, she's a whore. She has a bodysuit on. Oh, well, she's over here trying to show all her curves to every dude that's out here. She goes to brunch with her homegirls. And I've heard a dude complain about this. Goes to brunch with her homegirls. Why is she going to brunch with them? Because you didn't take her. So I find this subject to be quite interesting. But what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at a few different opinions in regards to this subject in particular.
So there's this question going around, do men like women? The answer to that in general is no. Men don't like women. Men tolerate women. They don't see the value of a woman, or they only equate the value of a woman to her box. But they don't like women as human beings. In a way that they even see women is not respectful. I mean, you got dudes that think that majority of men just think that a woman's supposed to be this person who cooks, cleans, and fucks. So no, men in general do not like women. They tolerate women. That doesn't mean that they're GAY. Just mean they don't like women as human beings. And men need to fix that. Like, I hope this answered the question, but this ain't nothing new. I mean, this ain't nothing new.
A man will spend and waste his entire life with a woman that he does not like and or hates. A man will marry a woman that he hates. He'll sleep with the woman that he hates. He'll have children with the woman that he hates, all because he felt like you were the best that he could do at the time, and or either you were just who was giving him attention, or you were just right there in his face at the time, so he thought that you were convenient. So you got what you got. He got what he got. This is why you have to pay attention to the way a person treats you, because a person that loves you and cares for you and wants you to do better and wants to do better with you is going to accommodate their lifestyle to fit the needs and of you and cater to your specific needs, not the needs that they feel like they want you to have. Women do this too, but right now we're talking about men.
So there's a lot of women out there who are confused as to why a man would be in a full-fledged relationship with you, commit to you, marry you, and all of that, but treat you horribly. And you don't understand why men can stay in situations that they're miserable in or they're not unhappy in or whatever. It's because they don't like you. And in most cases, men like this don't like women at all. Okay. So there's two groups of men when it comes to how men feel about women, right? There could be three in a sense where there's a neutral point, like somewhere in the middle. But I'm just going to focus on the two extremes. Okay. One group of men believe that women are miraculous. They're like the things that we're able to do, the way that we can go through pregnancies and give birth, how we can multitask, the way we love and nurture people, blah, 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 blah. Some men are so fascinated by that. They're like, they revere women. They're like, wow. Now, typically, a lot of these men are gay, the ones who can appreciate it. A lot of them are. But there still are a lot of straight men who revere women. They just think the world of women. They think highly of women, right? Then you have the other group that I think is over half, in my opinion, of men who absolutely are jealous of women. Jealous, absolutely jealous. Now, you might say, how can a man be jealous of a woman? Easy. Every man on the planet, whether he wants to admit this or acknowledge it or not, every man on the planet knows that he had to pass through the vaginal walls of a woman in order to even be here. So whenever you hear men say, men built the world, I'm like, and B, what's your point? Women birthed the world. You wouldn't be here building nothing if you didn't pass through the vag of a woman in order to get here. Had your mother swallowed or shunned a boar, shout out to Zumi, right? Y'all know what I'm saying. You wouldn't be here. So the woman decided, y'all can talk about it takes a man and a woman to create life if you want to, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? At the end of the day, if that woman decides she's going to keep it or shun a boar, that's her decision at the end of the day. She's the one with the last decision. And there are a group of men who absolutely hate that is the facts. They hate that concept, right? And they're jealous of the fact that they think women go through life and they think we got it easy. So they do things to make it hard. They sit by and they love seeing us suffer. They love seeing us cry. They love when men leave them to be single mothers, and anything a woman goes through, this group of men secretly or sometimes outwardly relish in your pain. Like they are just somewhere like, oh my God, that's exactly what she get. And some of them will come out and just tell you like, ha ha ha, B, that's what you get, right? But they have their passive aggressive ways. Like they'll say stuff like, you should have chose better because you didn't choose them. Stuff like that, right? This group of men hate women. Okay. Now the reason why they can get in relationships with women is because they need women for our services and our free labor. So I think if a lot of them could find other males that would cook for them every day and clean for them and satisfy their sexual needs and do their laundry and all that stuff that women would do, if more men could find other men that would do those things and be nurturing and all that stuff, somebody that they can trauma dump on all the time, most of these men who don't like women, they would leave us alone. But the reason why they don't leave us alone is because they need women. Women need other women. Men need women. Women don't need men. We don't. If you want one, that's something different. But we don't need them. They need us. They needed us to even exist in the first place. And like I said, a lot of men hate that. Their egos, their fragile egos cannot help it. If you are in category A, the guys who revere women, I'm not talking to you. Okay. But like I said, the vast majority of men, in my opinion, fall into the second category of men who use women for your services because they can't get it from other men. So they have what they call a MILF, right? Mom, I'd like to F. That's really what men want. They want a mother, somebody that's going to do all those things for them, and they can also, fulfill their deviant, out there, outlandish sexual needs as well. That's what they want. If they could find that stuff in another man, they would. Some of them have, right? I think about like guys like Anwar, like here on TikTok. I think I'm saying his name right. The one who says he's like the fairy godfather or something like that. He's lovely, by the way. I really do like him. He's like, girl, right? He seems like he would be a good partner. Like he probably would if he found a guy that he loved. If he has one, he seems like the type that would be like, let's cook together, let's do this, I'll wash your clothes. Like, I don't know if he's that type of guy or not. I'm just saying he seems like he would be a good partner. And if it was more acceptable and these guys were comfortable with coming out and being who they are, and they can just go get all of those nurturing things that women do from other men, most of these men would leave us alone. They probably all would, actually. But that's the thing. That is how a man can be in a relationship with you, lay up with you every day, marry you and all of that, and hate your guts because they really don't want to be there. That's why I said before, a lot of women are always begging men to like come home and spend time with them because they're always with their homies or whatever. Men have emotional connections and love their homies, and they tolerate women. That's just is what it is. The answers be right in y'all's faces. And sometimes it is the fact that they're sleeping with their homeboys as well. Sometimes that's just facts. I'm not saying all of them are, but a lot of them are. And when you start I talked the other day about the women's intuition. When you start having these thoughts in your mind, please follow this stuff. Because a lot of times you're going to find years or months down the road that you were right all along. So if you start thinking he's spending too much time with these men, he don't never spend time with me, he hates you. Okay. So my theory is this: if he tolerates you, and treats you bad, he hates you. He resents the fact that he needs you for whatever he's using you for. And when he get with the next woman, and when he get with the next woman, and when he get with the next woman, it's going to be the same thing. Because these men feel this way about women. They can tell themselves, oh, it was her, she was the issue. They have a track record of treating women the same way. So it's them. They don't really like women. So you can't take this personally at the end of the day. Because it's really their responsibility to just be like, okay, I'm not going to use her because I don't like her like that. I'm just going to man up and just move on with my life. They're not going to do that. They're incredibly, this group of men have no integrity. Not an honest bone in their bodies. They're going to use you up until they can't use you anymore. And it just is what it is. That's how they're able to do that. Most men are going to lie. If his mouth is moving, he's lying. Okay. And if he comes out and tells you the truth about what he's doing behind your back or whatever, he hates you. If he lies to you and he's doing things behind your back, he's lying to you because he doesn't like you. I ain't gonna say he hates you, but he doesn't like you, but he doesn't want to tell you the truth because you're going to stop doing whatever you're doing for him. It's really that simple. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. For those of you who are confused, that is why men can be in full-fledged, full-term marriages for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years with a woman and treat you badly and act like you're a burden and all that, because to him you are. He's there because he has to be there to get those needs met, because he can't find men to meet all of the needs that women would give men just naturally, what we naturally give them. Leave your comments below and I'll check you guys in the next one. My account is on thin ice. This is probably not going to go far, but let's see. I just saw a video of the little Cam Newton podcast or whatever, and he had that guy, the one that panders to women, that ace metaphor or whatever. And he said something that just, I mean, it's obvious, right? He said, heterosexual men don't like women. They like women sexually and like them for their organs, but outside of that, they don't like what a woman embodies or represents. And I totally agree. But do you know why, though? Do you know why? All right, let's do it. You got to understand that when little boys are growing up, they're really not directed. They're not taught how to navigate life. The only thing that a little boy is taught to do is not be a girl. You throw like a girl. That's girly. You run like a girl. Like every insult that's thrown at little boys has to do with not being a girl, not being feminine. So they are conditioned to believe that feminine is bad, girl bad, woman bad. Okay? No explanation why. You run like a girl, you throw like a girl. Oh my God, ha ha ha, you're such a girl. Why? They have no explanation. There's no reason. It's just girl bad, boy good. And what happens? They grow up with this conditioning and essentially grow up into these heterosexual men that hate women. It's the same way when we talk about racism. Have you ever talked to a racist and asked them, why don't you like black people? They never know how to answer that. It's just because they've never really been taught anything. It's just don't like black. Don't like black. And so they grow up with this inculcated conditioning of don't like black. They don't know why. They don't know the reason. And this is just to say, fellas, at the core of all of your problems is you.
Collectively, as women, we all need to come to the realization that men just don't want to be men anymore. Men want to be treated exactly how women are treated. They want to be taken out on dates. They want to be called and text first. Ultimately, they want to feel like they are the catch. And that's not to say that some men aren't the catch. We no longer have chivalry, okay? Chivalry does not exist. Men are not out here doing grand gestures anymore. It's a lot of men who don't buy flowers or refuse to buy flowers. It's a lot of men who don't even believe in dates. Men haven't been masculine for a long time. Men haven't been manly for a long time. And men have not been providers for a long time. Shit, men don't even want to protect you no more, okay? You got a lot of men that they just sit up and they post about women all day. They post about how women ain't shit and they should be taken out too and they should get this and they should get that. They bash women all day long, okay? They hate women. A lot of men hate women, you guys. And unfortunately, those are the ones who act like they like women when they really don't. A lot of men feel like they have to compete with us. And in today's society, there are so many men who have turned women bashing into what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like all day, they're talking about how women shouldn't have this and women shouldn't get that and women expect to be taken out on dates and women are broken. Women are... So what do you like about women? You know what I mean? Like, what is it about women that you do like? You know what I mean? What are you looking for in a woman? You know, because y'all complain about everything that a woman does. Do you want a man?
If you hate women, just say that. If you aren't into women, just say that. How is it that you get in relationships with these women, but here it is, you got more time to kick it with your homies. You stay out in the street with grown-ass men. You would rather be out in the street with grown, hairy, smelly men running around for days versus being up under some warm covers with your soft woman. Here it is, you want to continuously take trips with grown-ass men when you could be on a resort vacationing, rubbing some soft feet and some soft butt, but you want to be around a whole bunch of beards and big shoulders and backbone. Are you kidding me? If you and the men, just say that. If you don't like women, just say that. How the fuck is it? You are exchanging bodily fluids with your woman, splitting bills with your woman, but you prioritize your homies before her. If you don't like women, just say that. You'll get up out of your bed 2 o'clock in the morning because the homies got an issue, but you won't even inconvenience 15 minutes of your day during work hours for your woman. You weird, goofy freakers.
Asking men for advice about getting married, and now that I'm 4 years in, I realize that a lot of these men didn't like their wives.
Hey y'all, so that young man I just stitched brought up an amazing point And I'm so happy to hear a man admit to this and say this out loud. So go back and watch his original video. But he did a thing and he found out that, men don't like women. His married friends don't like their wives. I've been saying this for years. And listen, I love men, good men. I love good men that are real men. But the rest of them, I'm like, ugh. One of the things I discovered years and decades ago, actually, is that men don't really like women. So many men hate their wives. If you ever, like in the workplace, and you hear a dude talking about his wife, it's always very disparaging comments. It's like crazy. It's like, bruh, do you not even like your wife? What the fuck? Men don't like women. This is totally my conjecture, so do with this what you will. A lot of times men don't like women because we're not men. They want men, but they can't admit it due to societal pressures. So many men, I just want to go up to them and say, dude, just say that you're gay. Like, it's okay, it's all right. But they can't, and they feel pressured, so they blame us because they can't be who they really are. That's conjecture number one. Number two, the men that actually do get married, again, this is not all men, but this is a huge majority of them, feel trapped. They feel trapped in a marriage. They really don't want to do it. They want to be free, but they're doing their societal duty, so to speak, in being married. So of course they resent their wife for taking away their freedom. Men also want to fuck everything that moves. Again, not all, but a whole lot of them. So they resent their wife for not allowing them to go fuck a bunch of bitches and have to uphold their marriage. Men resent women once they have babies. Oh my God. Once women become mothers, why do you think it is so prevalent in America specifically, but it happens other places too? Why is it so prevalent that men be unaliving their entire families? The kids, the wife, what have you? Because he hates them, period. Your daddy probably hated your mama. Your daddy hates you. Your brothers hate you. Your brothers hate your girlfriend. The men around you hate the women around them. And if y'all don't believe me, then let's do a test. Going forward, whenever you're around men, around your guy friends, or if you're married or whatever, just close your mouth, but open your ears and listen to the rhetoric that they say. Start looking at, God, just look at social media comments to tell you how much men hate women. It is absolutely abhorrent. So I want you ladies to take this information, keep that in mind. And those of y'all that don't want marriage and don't want babies, be resolute in your decisions because you're not missing anything.
A lot of heterosexual men don't like women for real. They don't. They like women sexually, but they don't like women. They're not attracted to what a woman is outside of her sexual organs.
Cam Newton is looking over at that man like, I know you lying. Who brought you on here to say this today? I bet you any amount of money. The way Cam was blinking, the way he was blinking and had like nothing to say, it was because in his head, he's like, who should I fire for bringing him on here? Because he's clocking my tea right now. This is really me. And how does he know this? Because I really believe that Cam does not like women. This is why he goes from woman to woman. This is why he humiliates Jasmine, even though she's his rider and she's been everything that he's needed. He still is not going to show her the respect that she deserves because he doesn't like her. How many times do he have to show these women that? How many broken homes does he have to create for us to get it? The way he was looking at him, though, I mean, I just had to screenshot that because you can't make this stuff up. Who agrees with me? I know y'all might have recently saw Jasmine talking about how sometimes she just needs support. But a lot of people aren't going for that, and they're not really feeling bad for her because everybody was trying to warn her about this man, tell her about this man, tell her about this man, and she was saying everybody was wrong. They need to mind their business. Oh, you would never, because you could never. You never could. That's why you're not me. You're not like me, and all that, not word for word, but essentially that's what she was saying. She was throwing Cam in everybody's face, acting like he was God's gift. Now you're struggling with your postpartum, and you don't have nobody, and you're giving him all of you. And you realizing this might not be all it's cracked up to be. What y'all think about Cam? Y'all think that guy was on to something and he was feeling it, or I'm just reaching for the stars?
How to know if a man hates women? Oh yeah, you heard that correctly. How to know if a man hates women? Let me give you an example. When you're talking to a man or you see a video of a man and he's always talking about women from a negative standpoint, he's talking about women from a mean and inferior standpoint. For example, oh, what does she know? She's a woman. That's how women are. That's how women think. Women only want one thing. They want your money. When you hear these kind of comments up from a man, this is typically coming from a man who hates women. There's no other way to put it to you. He hates women. Now, how else do you know if a man hates women? This is a man typically who, the way he talks about women, like I said, he always tries to paint women in such negative lights all the time, using very vulgar words to describe women. He typically doesn't see women as good people. And this usually comes from a place of hurt, usually, or jealousy. So a man who has never had positive female influences in his life, maybe his mother was dysfunctional, his aunties were dysfunctional, his sisters were dysfunctional, and he never knew what it's like to have a foundational positive experience with women. These kind of guys are going to grow up with some type of vendetta against women. So that's number one, how he talks about them, the kind of vulgar words he uses. Number two, this is actually the extreme part. These are the men that go the extra mile to abuse. This could be physical, this could be emotional, this could be mental. His goal is to destroy. That's it. His goal is to destroy, and he will do anything to destroy a woman. Could be physically extreme, could be mental. There are some men out there who go out specifically hunting for women to hurt, to destroy. He's hurt. He hates women. Number three, these are the kind of guys you see that they're always competing with women. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh, men can do it better. You can't do it. Men are the best. Men are the best. Men are the best. So these 3 points, the way he talks, the vulgar words he uses to describe women, the way he abuses the women, and the way he's always in competition. These are typically 3 signs that a man hates women. And these are the kind of men you see in very alpha male type environments, right? Screaming at women, telling women they are not high value, or trying whatever they can to make sure the woman knows that he's stronger than her, he's better than her. These are signs of men that hate women. I know it sounds weird. How can a man hate women? And by the way, you have men that hate women that are sleeping with the women they hate. You have men that hate women that are in relationships with women that they hate. Oh yeah. Think about it.